Hey everybody, J.R. Fisher here. It is Friday afternoon. Thought I would do this little short video on goals because we're approaching the end of the year, and in January people tend to set goals or resolutions. I love that one, resolutions. That's a funny one. And what happens generally is they don't happen. And I want you, because I want me, right? I want my goals to be met this year, and I want you to meet your goals. But I think the reason we don't meet our goals is because we don't do certain things. I just want to share a few things with you that helps me, and maybe it'll help you out and get you towards your goals, because that's the main thing of this video right here. So it's Friday afternoon, and today we had to go get a little maintenance done on my wife's car, so we had to drop it off and get an oil change, and we went out and had lunch. Had a nice lunch whenever Seasons 52 at UTC Mall. Very, very nice place. Good meals. Is a chain restaurant, but it's still a good meal. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about goals. And I think the biggest problem that people have with this, year-end goal or year-beginning goal, whatever you want to call it, is that they wait until the goal starts to set it. Now think about this. Most people say, what's your New Year's resolution? What are you going to do? What are you going to make happen? And they're like, well, it's not January 1st yet. I don't want to do it yet. And, the funny thing is about that is, like, if you were running a race and, let's say there's a 50-yard dash and a 100-yard dash and a marathon, 26.2 miles, you wouldn't get up to the line and go, what do I want to do? Do I want to do a marathon? Do I want to do a 50-yard dash? You wouldn't do that, right? Because you would know in advance what that goal was, and you would plan for it, and you would train for it, and you'd get ready for it. And that's what I'm kind of suggesting you do now. It's kind of late in the year. However, you've got some time before January 1st. And I would say set a pretty big goal this year. Why not go ahead and do that? A lot of people get so wrapped up in their job, and they think that's what they are. They think, well, I'm a secretary. I work in an office and I type on a computer and I do data entry. Or, I'm an accountant, so I work with numbers and that's what I do every day. Or I'm a cashier and I work at 7-Eleven or whatever it is. And you're not any of those things. You're nothing like that. What you are is an individual person who can do just about anything you really want to do, okay? As long as you have the mental capability, as long as you're above average, or maybe even below average, because I've seen some below average people do some great things because they told themselves they could do it. And I've also seen a lot of really super intelligent people who were in very low level jobs, and they thought that was their job. They remained their entire life. There's a lady, very sweet lady, she's at our grocery store, and she's been there 38 years as a cashier at a grocery store. Very smart person, has a great personality. Who knows what she could have done if she'd gotten into another profession or started her own business, because she's very engaging and very funny and very nice, but she's chose to stand in front of a cash register all day long. Not that there's anything wrong with cashiers. If you're happy being a cashier, more power to you. But you're not a cashier. That's just what you're choosing to do with your body that day, okay? You're not an accountant. You're not a secretary. You're none of those things. You're not a lawyer. You're none of those things. You're just a human being, and you're choosing to spend your time doing those things. So I would suggest to you this year, set a really high goal, something that's like crazy high, that's going to make you really reach a little bit, because a lot of people will also base their goal on where they're at, and they say, well, I haven't done much, so how can I hope to achieve much? And that's got nothing to do with it. A lot of people never did much with their life, and all of a sudden they just took off and they did great. And I could give you example after example, but you just look that one up on the internet. You'll find a lot of people with humble beginnings who've done very, very well. So I would suggest to you to set this high goal. Now, here's what's going to happen when you set this high goal. If you're making $50,000 a year, or you're making $20,000 a year, you tell yourself you want to make 250. That's 5 times, or that's 20 times what you're making now. And people are going to tell you you're crazy because it's too high of a goal. They're going to say things like that you're going to have to work too hard, and you're going to have to give up time with your family, and you're going to you're not going to get enough rest, and it's going to be bad on your health. And none of those things are true. None of those things are true. I just started running an ad for one of my webinars, and in that one webinar, I know last year I did it a couple times with ClickBank, and we did $250,000 to $300,000 in one webinar. Okay, we did it a couple times, and I didn't work any harder when I did that webinar and did it for a few people and made a few $1,000s than we made $300,000. The only difference was we had more people in the webinar. And that's the awesome thing about the internet right now. If you're not in the internet business, if you're not doing stuff online, you're missing the boat because, like when I run an ad, I'm running an ad right now for a webinar I'm doing. And if I put that ad in front of, 1,000,000 people, or I put that ad in front of 10 million people, I don't work any harder. All I do is I just run that ad into more people's homes, okay? More people see it, that's it. That's the only difference. So don't tell yourself that, to make more money in today's day and times, that you got to work harder, you got to work longer, you got to miss your sleep, you're going to ruin your health. The fact is, I'm able to go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, every week, okay? And, I'm able to go off lunch on, Fridays with my wife, and I'm able to go on trips. I do several trips a year. I'm getting ready to go to the Mexican Riviera with a group of people on the Internet Marketer Cruise. I just got back from Cancun, a trip down there. And I make more money than I made on my job years ago. And I'm able to do more. So when somebody says, well, oh my gosh, if you want to try to make that kind of money, you got to be a bad person. You're going to have to rip people off. That's in their head. That's not true. You could really serve people. You can be a super good person. You can get your rest. You can have your health. You can have your family. You can have more time with them and make more money. It's possible. But we've brainwashed ourselves into thinking that if we have more, we have to give up more. And you don't. You don't have to do that. It's not necessary for you to give up more. All it is necessary is for you to do something that has the ability to make money, which is anything online nowadays, I think, and to work smarter. And I know that's an old saying, work smarter, not harder, but that's really the truth, okay? So like if I want to make more money on a webinar I do, or selling my survival foods or whatever, all I have to do is get that message out in front of more people. I don't have to work any harder. I just got to have an ad that's going to run longer and further, and all I do is put more money behind it to do that. You would decide exactly what the race is. I'm going to do a 5K, 10K. I'm going to do 26.2 miles. Whatever it is, you would decide that in advance, and you'd start preparing for it, because that's the sensible thing to do. So don't jump up January 1st and go, okay, I've got my New Year's resolutions. I'm going to be in shape and I'm going to make more money. And that's the other part you can mess up. Make it specific. You can't say you're going to make more money. You need to say exactly how much more money you're going to make. You got to say exactly what you're willing to do for that money, okay? And yeah, you're going to have to work. I'm not saying you don't have to work. You're definitely going to have to work. But with the internet nowadays, I mean, my God, the possibilities are just frigging incredible. And, I don't know if it's going to be there, 20, 25 years from now. Maybe everybody will figure it out. But I know one thing's for sure, 10 years, 20 years from now, people are going to look back and go, man, did you see all the possibilities? Did you see all the things you could do online, and you stayed in your job, and you stayed as a cashier for 38 years? You didn't see what was going on online? Didn't you realize that you could take trips with your family? You could go places. You could have things. You could give more back to your community. You could help with charities if you had just tried some of these things. That conversation will happen if you don't. I can promise you that. So don't base your goals based on what you've done in the past. You are not your job, whatever that job is. I was in sales for many years, managing people, but I was not a sales manager. That was just my job, okay? That was what I was doing with my body at that time. I'm no longer a sales manager, okay? And I wasn't a sales manager then either, okay? It's just what you do with your body, what you do with your time, and how you invest it. And don't let anybody else tell you can't do it, because that's BS. And the people, I promise you, that will tell you can't do it are the very people who have not done it. If you go up in front of somebody like, I don't know, Richard Branson or, Steve Jobs or something, and you say you really can't have much effect in the world, they would look at you like you're crazy. They would be like, well, of course you can. I've done it. Why can't you? And you're going to get that same crazy look if you go and tell people who haven't done much with their lives what you're planning on doing, because guess what? They haven't done it. They don't get it. They don't understand. So open your mind a little bit this year. Start planning now, okay? Take Saturday and plan. I know or Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Take Sunday. Sunday, Saturday, whatever you got. On Sunday, I'm going to do a live free training on Facebook ads, and I've put the link in the description there. If you want to get some live training on Facebook ads, do it. It's at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this Sunday, which is the 16th. Yeah, 12, 16, 18. Okay, so this is live right now. And that's a live training. And by the way, no, it won't be recorded. You can't watch it Monday evening or Tuesday morning or Thursday afternoon, because it's a one-time thing. I'm going to do a training, and it's a live training, and it's going to take you some time. You're going to have to invest some time. But guess what? when you come out of the other end of that training, you're going to know how to do stuff that you didn't know how to do before. And if you take those things and you apply those things in your life, they're the same things I use every day to run ads, then you're gonna have value and you can make money, you know. But you got to learn something new. You know, I still hear people say, "Well, I don't know that internet stuff. That's like saying, well, I don't know about driving a car. I don't know about flying an airplane, riding a train." They didn't have those years ago either. But you're living in these times, and I'm of the belief that whatever times you're living in are the technology that you're supposed to take advantage of, right? You don't want to live like, you know, people did 20 years ago when there's technology to make your life easier. Why do that? Why not go ahead and grab it now? So go ahead, plan it. Plan what you're going to do for next year now. Don't wait to the first. Plan it now. Ignore anybody who tells you can't do it, because just say, hey, I'm not my job. I can do other things, okay? And they'll understand that when you achieve it, okay? And you'll have more time for your health. You'll have more time for your family, have more time to travel, and you'll get more out of this. You got one shot at this, okay? You'll get more out of all this, I promise you, if you just go out there and try. So I hope that helps you out some. If you like what I had to say, pass it on to somebody else. If you think it'll help them out, please share and comment below. And if you can come to my training on Sunday, there's a link there. I'll send you a couple of videos. So thanks for listening, and I will talk to you real soon.